viewers, the budget for 2023, you've heard a lot about it, but no serious commentator is saying that the Modi government has succumbed in any which way to the populist urge. Everyone is calling this a pragmatic, growth-oriented budget, and we've gone over the reasons, so I'm not going to repeat them. We are going to speak to one of Mr. Modi's top ministers who holds at least 4 economic portfolios, including Commerce Ministry, and has been somebody who has also functioned as a finance minister a few years ago. Piyush Goyal needs no introduction. Thank you very much for speaking to Times Now. Mr. Goyal, the need of the hour is to continue India's sparkling performance on the global stage and of course on the domestic stage, and the headline, the breakaway headline that has really got everyone buzzing is the emphasis on capital expenditure. That's really what the doctor had asked for, and you have delivered on that. For a moment we thought that the markets would cheer it, but then for some reasons the market sort of deflated. Nonetheless, I want to ask you, this thrust on capex at a time when it is necessary also to, I suppose, roll back inflation, tame it, and also of course stay within the parameters of fiscal deficit numbers. How will this be achieved, and what's the real aim of this record boost in capex?
Rahul, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has chosen a very prudent path to preparing the nation for the coming 25 years. Over the last few years, after having inherited a very, very bad economic situation, we spent a lot of our time in building up the strong economic fundamentals, in strengthening our banking system, making business easier in India to do, strengthening systems for high levels of probity and integrity. And we were all set to fly when COVID hit the world. Clearly, we all recognize that we lost some time there, and soon after that we also are grappling with an international depression and high inflation worldwide thanks to the conflict in Ukraine. Despite all of this, the world today recognizes India as a bright star and a country which will actually propel global growth, because they recognize that India today has a strong and decisive, honest leadership, a leadership that is committed to the good of India and its people, but also is a responsible global citizen. Look at the thrust on sustainability or our own contribution to climate change. They also recognize that India has gone beyond just the basic amenities of life, and thanks largely to the steps taken in the last few years, where we've ensured everybody gets a good quality house, shelter, where nobody ever has to suffer and sleep at night hungry, where the basic needs of every citizen of the country are well taken care of, so that his desires and his aspirations for the better things of life will come to the fore, and that demand push that this gives, that urge and desire to contribute to a better future for the nation that we get because of this, is what is propelling the country to higher growth levels. We are the fastest growing economy amongst the large economies, and will continue to be so for many, many years to come. Basically, Prime Minister Modi, through his focus on capex, and it's not today, it has grown from 3.5 lakhs to 5.5 to 7.5, and now 10 lakh in a short span of 4 years. Apart from that, if you look at the effective capital expenditure, it's over 13.5 lakh crores. Even a scheme like Manrega today is not digging a hole and filling it up. It creates some asset in the local area. The Amrit Sarovars in 75 in each district will help create reservoirs of water. The The thrust on tourism will give more employment than any other program. The Vishwakarma Yojana will prepare our youth, particularly those who use their own capabilities and skill. Handlooms, handicrafts, carpenters, plumbers, all sorts of people will be trained and retrained to increase their incomes. So in a way, it's a very foundational budget which is preparing. It's the first year in the Amrit Kal, as Madam said. And Honorable Finance Minister has truly presented a foundational budget preparing us for 25 glorious years ahead.
So the thrust is not 2024 but 2047. Okay.